Well, be careful what you wish for. You might just get it. Chicagoland and Kentucky Speedway are off the NASCAR calendar for next year. And I have a feeling that I'm not going to be leaving this chair very often in the next couple of days because there is just going to be an avalanche of news, particularly surrounding the NASCAR 2021 schedule. Now, we do have a statement that has been released by Chicagoland Speedway, so I'm going to read that right now, and then I'm going to give you some of my analysis. My brain's already fried. Give you some of my analysis on this situation because it's definitely dire straits for at least Chicagoland. With the 2021 NASCAR Cup Series schedule unveiling came the unfortunate news that Chicagoland Speedway will not be part of that lineup. In addition, the NASCAR Xfinity Series Gander trucks and ARCA will also not be returning to Chicagoland Speedway in 2021. The move away from NASCAR racing at Chicagoland Speedway is one of the many changes reflected in the 2021 schedule and by no means a reflection of the support our fans have demonstrated. Rather, it is a desire and an important step for the industry to incorporate new markets and new courses onto the schedule and expand the variety of competition. All of our fans have exhibited a tremendous amount of allegiance and patience over the past year, during which time we have all experienced significant changes. While we share your disappointment around this news, we truly appreciate and value your commitment to the sport and to the track. Chicagoland Speedway and Route 66 Raceway have been a central member of the Joliet Greater Chicagoland area for 20 years, and we will continue to operate as an integral part of our community. As far as NASCAR racing at the Chicagoland Speedway, it's difficult at this time to speculate what 2022 might bring. We will continue to work with NASCAR on potential future opportunities beyond 2021 and will keep you updated. Finally, due to the corresponding impact on the shared resources between Chicagoland Speedway and Route 66 Raceway, the future uncertainty surrounding the COVID-19 pandemic, Route 66 Raceway will unfortunately not be hosting drag racing events in 2021. We hope you and your family continue to stay safe and healthy. Thank you for your continued support. So we aren't just losing one track here in this particular exchange. Part of what I understand is a very, very drastic change to the NASCAR schedule. I'm pretty sure I know most of what's coming, and this was part of it, and there is significant change to the NASCAR schedule. Unfortunately, this is the bad side of it. Chicagoland Speedway and Kentucky, both tracks opened during that NASCAR boom period in the early 2000s. Kentucky Speedway was opened in 2000, and Chicagoland was opened in 2001. Now, Chicagoland almost immediately got a Cup Series date. It took Kentucky quite a while. I think it was 2012 or 2013 by the time they finally got a Cup date. But both tracks had Indy Racing League races. Particularly in Kentucky's case, that was kind of what kept them around for a while, which also says to me that if you're picking tracks that may or may not survive this hit, I would say Kentucky probably has a better chance of surviving this than Chicagoland Speedway does. It's interesting that they're looking at 2022, particularly in Chicagoland's case, because it says to me that there's at least a chance that the track doesn't immediately get demolished. But at the same time, oh boy, this is it's not good. And I think again, I think this is one of those things where you look at the camera and you say, you're saying there's a chance. I'm saying there's a chance that maybe Chicagoland Speedway will survive to get to 2022 in the first place. I think at the very least it will sit dormant for 2021. But if it's not on that 2022 schedule, I don't see any path that Chicagoland Speedway is going to stick around much longer than that. Unfortunately, I think the land's too valuable, and we had seen leaked images, earlier this year that Chicagoland was looking at selling some parcels of land off that they owned, and there was even a total redevelopment plan that was leaked. The writing on the wall for Chicagoland is really that Route 66 dragway. The fact that they would be capable of hosting events and are not going to be able to says to me that the NASCAR money is completely gone from Chicagoland. It's actually fairly shocking that not only did the Cup Series leave, but Xfinity, ARCA, trucks all leaving. Very bad news from Chicago's perspective, Chicagoland's perspective, because IndyCar is probably not coming back, and IndyCar is probably the only series that would be able to even give them a hope of being saved at this point. Because, let's be honest, what other kind of national series could go run there? What could run there? Certainly the NHRA isn't going to be able to run at the drag strip, so, I mean, there is no big event at Chicagoland Speedway for next year. And it's sad because I'm reminded so much of Chicago Motor Speedway, which certainly had a much shorter shelf life than Chicagoland Speedway. It was a built little short track, 1 mile oval, built next to a horse track in Cicero, I believe, which is a suburb of Chicago, by Chip Ganassi, believe it or not. Survived about 4 years and then was abandoned. It took a while for it to get torn down. It took about 6 years. We may have another like abandoned track on our hands. There's no doubt about it. But at the same time, we have seen tracks that look like they're done and dusted and toast come back. Nashville Superspeedway is the shining example of that. Very similar situation to what we're seeing here in Chicago and in Kentucky, where one of these 1.5 milers gets built during the boom, NASCAR leaves, and the track sits for a while. But Nashville is coming back. Now, of the tracks that I think could come back, again, I think Chicago's dead. The chances of Kentucky coming back are somewhat, I would say, somewhat good, somewhat plausible. Because of the fact that it survived as long as it did without a Cup event, that says to me that there is some staying power there. But again, if all the NASCAR Touring Series are leaving Kentucky, you're in a big problem, because that's what's going to kill Chicago. The fact that they have virtually no income coming in, that's going to make it look very attractive for them to sell. I would imagine that the Chicago owners will try to get that Cup date in 2022, essentially just write off 2021 as a loss. But again, if you think in a normal year, the Cup Series calendar for the next year usually comes out about mid-year. It was a little bit different this year because of the COVID. We're going to know by the middle of next year whether Chicagoland is going to stick around. Kentucky, that's the question mark. Could they get an IndyCar event? Are they even trying to get an IndyCar event? If they can't, what are your other options? I guess the land that Kentucky is on isn't quite as valuable, which may end up saving them. But certainly, this is the downside. You guys wanted, and I'm not even saying this is a bad thing, but if you want tracks like Road America, for example, this was always going to be the cost. And certainly, as they said in the press release, a more varied schedule, a schedule for NASCAR has got more variety is certainly good. But it certainly sucks. It certainly sucks that it comes at the expense of racetracks, because these big tracks, they're not going to get rebuilt. And it's not like, do you really think, I'll put it this way. Do you think the Chicagoland area is ever going to get a super speedway again? Probably not. So ordinarily when racetracks leave these areas, they don't come back. And it's very rare. There's very rare examples where they either come back or the tracks somehow get saved. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think of this. Going to continue the coverage of all the NASCAR 2021 scheduling news. There's some big stuff coming, guys. Big stuff. We'll see you in the next video.